This is the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat in my life. Wow, man!
Fire it up, Holmes!
Why don't you get a job, Spicoli?
What for?
You need money.
All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
Welcome and thanks for tuning in to Revolution Radio. And now it's time for that feral hippie herself, an infotartic, esoteric, eclectic mix of the adventures of that feral hippie, Miss Mona Radler.
What are you people? On dope?
That was my skull! I'm so wasted!
Make a move and the money gets it.
Dave's not here!
All right, Mona, it's all yours. Take it away.
It's August 21st, 2017. And yes, everybody's in the throes of an eclipse kind of day. Yes, indeedy. And yes, it started getting dark around here too. But the main picture that I got, thank you, Diet Joke, was the best one when it was totally covering the sun. And if those are the true sun rays in that, we've got incoming. But that's just my opinion, because I'm the Feral Hippie. Welcome to Adventures of a Feral Hippie, hippie, hippie. Here at freedomslips.com, Revolution Radio, and Hacky Shack. Thank you. Yes, don't forget we're donator listener supported, donation listener supported. And basically, things have happened. We're all facing something. It's an illusion of beliefs, and it's up to us to make what it is we want to happen. Yeah, I've had like 3 different things. The NASA one is for nothing. At least I've found out we don't live on a flat Earth. And look at them chemtrails on that planet. And they got radar. They got satellite up there in space. Yes, they do. And them solar panels, that's so cool. I mean, and the chat, you can't even get anything into it to flipping thing, but this is Space and Universe official site. And no, I'm not going to subscribe, but they're not even showing the moon or the sun. They're just showing the Earth. What the heck kind of stuff is that? I guess they want to see when it gets dark on the Earth. Well, it's not going to get a whole massive Earth dark, just on its pedigree, you know? Oh my gosh. Somebody said they grew scales. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Yep, but what a picture. Oh, goodness gracious. And you know, are we going to think that it's supposed to be scary? Or not just scary, but what is it when you call it when you're believing it's against you? Come on. No, see, I don't even use the word because it doesn't want to float in my head because I don't believe in it. It's not my intent to have it happening. Oh my gosh, superstitions. That's what it is. The word. No superstitions here. I know I'm the one in control of my being, no matter what else is going on. Whew. But just for the day of people getting on the same page, can you imagine what that does to the AI? It gives them more information to use against us, in my personal opinion. But that's just me thinking. Oh, and it was beautiful. If this was the true eclipse, seeing the diamond and the whole ring around it, etc., it's amazing what we have as a sideshow. I'm almost really excited for when all the other ones come back from them filming it. But NASA's too much. The other place is commentary. Well, we're all supposed to have our own experiences, not the experiences of what somebody else is supposed to be programming into our conscious subconsciousnesses. No, 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 no. This is stuff coming from your heart. You got to be appreciative for. What is it that should be given thanks for and honored for the power that is shared? Overrun like some Lord God and you're still a slave, or the mediocre sheeple. We had a backlog on the interstate. We didn't go out of the house. We have one in visual sighting. And yeah, there were stops 11 o'clock. So people were really, because, I forget what place it is. I'll look on my information sheet if I can find it, of when it's supposed to hit in this area. And basically, it was really kind of interesting that if there's that much going on, gosh. Oh, yep. And then people want to put out war, put out peace, put out joy, put out community and love, not all the rest of this other stuff. Don't believe what they're telling you out there that's supposed to be, because it's all different. All right, I came to this, so I shall read it. From Andrew Bartzitz. The Eastern Shield, the very Eastern Shield, the illumination and clarity of the mornings. True illumination here, that you might understand that the Spirit has come to you in dreams, and the Spirit is giving you this clear form so you may understand the sacred space within inside you, so you may expand the sacred space and remember the true nature of feeling the respect. Yeah, I'm going to put in there respect for life, the respect for self, the respect for even the things that seemed harmful. Because if you haven't experienced it, then how would you know what is or not? So take everything as a blessing, not a curse. On with the paragraph. For a very, very long time, there has been people in your life that were disrespectful. And as you shed them off over and over and over again, you begin to fully realize why they were there. As these teacher spirits began to expand and you learned deep into your soul that there is a purpose. His purpose was the esteem shield. And that's what we're all supposed to be getting today. Not looking outside ourselves. Look within. Find that self-esteem. For the Eastern Shield. To look up into the sun and wonder as you breathe. Okay. This is high above the sky. It is time for you to spot the sunrise or the eclipse. And the sun falls. So you may return into your cycles. It is your true opportunity to understand why the sun rises and why the sun falls. Examine the energy now that you're having. This energy of you leads you to the place of power, the place of change. This current place of change is within you. It is your true purpose. Well, it's also to recognize, has most of your life and existence been in fear and not love? It means a whole lot. It really does. And until you can find that inner fear, etc., where you can remove it, because then it'll make a place for the love to come in, if that's what you want to build and create it for yourself. I mean, all this is your choice or not. Yep, it's all your choice. All right, I don't know that plan, or I don't know that continent that NASA link is showing. Interesting. But it's been called the Great American Eclipse. That's right, because America once was great. Yes, indeedy. And it still is. When the people come together to recognize it's our country, not the government's country, who has stolen it away from us. All right, this is an interesting article I found, or it was probably passed to me because I really don't need to search that much some days. And yeah, after 7, yes, 1 big package. Please. Yeah, see, who am I to think I have 3 different things I have to do at the same time, because if I don't, because this person only has internet access for a few minutes. Has anybody's internet gone down? But it is still overcast. Things are not as green as they were. They are now yellow. Yellow, yellow, yellow. But we did have a lot of clouds coming up because the clouds are gonna... I don't even want to go there yet. Nope, I don't want to go there yet. We're sharing all open doors to the answers we've been asking questions for. Relieve yourself of any confusion, chaos, or what is that word? Menagerie. Please do. Yes. The old order of things will suddenly pass away as the royal power of the great American eclipse brings Revelation 21 to life. Now, that's just what I'm reading. Doesn't mean I partake to this, even though I'm sharing these words, because I thought it was apropos. St. John's prophetic wisdom of a new heaven and a new earth began on August 21st with the blessing of the USA, with a new profoundly royal national astrology that transformed it into a glittering kingdom on the astral plane. Oh, how many of you people know the astral plane? The black heart of the shadow government will be morally wounded. Well, I'm all up for that. Precisely as the sun darkens to the awe and amazement of increasingly conscious global population. Will that be cool? But the sweetest grace shall come to all the world's children. Rules that raptors new paths into the future dawn for them. Well, that'd be nice to think that they would really be having something that is beneficial, something we could have saved from the past. That would have even been better yet, right? Okay. It is perfect fitting to call attention to an old teaching that resonates divinely with the eclipse. Here is the pure wisdom spoken by the Jesus Christ regarding children in the kingdom of heaven. Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever humbles themselves to be like this little child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoever welcomes a child like into this thy name welcomes all. But if anyone causes one of these little ones to believe in me, to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large milestone hung around their neck to be drowned. Okay, that's just, I don't, what? All right, that's just kind of funny, isn't it? Be like that of a child. But see, they want to say the heaven is not here now, but it is. It's up to us and our behavior and our belief systems and our intent to create heaven in earth. You don't want to just be on the earth, but if you're talking about how things are, we're actually in the earth realm. We're not on it. We're not above like the eclipse right now. We're in it. So what our environment is in our beliefs is either heaven or hell. Well, it's up to our choosing. We're not going to go somewhere and then it be somewhere else saying, oh yeah, you just reached heaven's gates or whatever. At least not to my knowledge, but that's just me. The feral hippie. With the eclipse happening in Leo, the zodiac's house of children, we should all give serious thought to the quality of life of our children. That's right. And to the type of future that they will inherit by our actions. The eclipse is a clear sign that we have come to a great crossroads And we must now leave the dark past behind. That's it. Sweep it out. Let it compost itself. To embrace our higher callings and the higher paths with service. Whoever champions the needed children will find themselves greatly blessed during the next calendar year. Think of the children and how, in their innocence, there is no hatred, fear, or division. If you want to ascend rapidly, then pour yourself into the needs, causes, and dreams of children. Well, you're actually creating a better future, and children I have come to believe come in all ages and sizes. They're not just the wee little ones. No, they're the ones that basically want to play, am curious of heart, and don't try to make anything a definite because they're always wanting to explore. And that should be the adults. And all the other ones, not just become placated into something like, okay, I'm over 50, I might as well sit in my rocking chair and die, right? No, get up and go do something. Find a group, communities, or whatever. Just don't sit around to die. Boy, what sense does that make? But the whole situation is the children and the innocence or the playing of life. Honestly, that's it. Doesn't matter. Even the dogs and animals like to play because it brings the zest of living back alive. And until we can find that inner harmony of where it doesn't matter. Okay, so you were wearing flip-flops at a wedding. So what? Why have to get to such standards that you create yourself to be uncomfortable? Every human and creature on this planet has the right to be comfortable no matter what. And well cared for, tendered with, nurtured. Just like children. And just like children in adult bodies. Because unless they were taught or programmed to the way of camaraderie, is that how you say it? Where we're all basically equal no matter what it is. Like, oh gosh, doctors should be equal with plumbers and teachers equal with astronauts. Yeah. None of this stardom stuff and idols everywhere. Oh yeah, these people, they're my idols. That's just giving a piece of yourself away for no good effort in return. And don't you usually like to spend your stuff wisely, even if it's energy and not just currency? Spending it with a better interest rate? You know, I mean, All right, so there's a light that will be impacting the USA with a subsequent shock wave that radiates throughout the entire planet. The divine shock wave is coming to children who have been killed, abused, sold, trafficked, harmed, neglected, and betrayed. One of the greatest themes of this is that on the average of all forms of child crime, past and present, woe to those with the blood of children on their hands. Their season of reckoning and punishment has come, and trust that the divine vengeance will intensify greatly during the Illuminati destroying transit of Jupiter and Scorpio. Boy, that's something to look forward to, isn't it? Let's see when Jupiter's going into. Does it say on that chart? That's Leo. Scorpio. Okay, it's not saying yet. Because for some reason, that is saying that Jupiter is in Leo when it's not. So I don't have any idea. Oh, that's the USA horoscope. I got it. Oh, so in Libra it's been square all this time. That's interesting. Okay, anyway, let me see. I will look back. I will open my book and see when Jupiter goes back into Scorpio, because I do believe it has retrograded away from Scorpio, so it's already been in Scorpio. Yeah, let us see. Okay. because it's rather interesting that we don't always recognize the power of what we've already experienced to what we have today. And until we can actually recognize that a little bit, it's hard to make those changes. Okay, so no. Okay, so it was going direct. Okay, so no, I don't think so. Jupiter didn't. It did go retrograde in February, though. In Libra, though. Libra. Yeah, and only at 13 degrees in June, so I guess it didn't go to it, so it just missed it. I guess that was to give them the opportunity of making a transition a whole lot easier, but the more they hid, the more it's going to hurt. So October 10th is when Jupiter goes into Scorpio. So that's interesting, because the physical year of this country for them paying their bills is October 1st. The final day of is September 30th. So they always try to pull, and it only happens on... So Monday would be the 2nd of October. So, and it's in the 28 degrees now, though, that we're having this eclipse, but that's a sextile, so that might be okay. Yep. And Saturn has gone direct, which will be nice, because right now we're definitely feeling those extra energies that, no, you can't do that. Yes, you better do that. No, you can't do that. Yes, you better do that. So just take no sides. And don't take any prisoners, especially yourself. I mean, honestly. Yep, 28 degrees. That's just interesting. And Leo's sun, I mean the North Node. So what happened at 24? Last Thursday. Well, it's the same thing that's been going on for a while, but that was then. So I wonder what the big news was last Thursday. That we haven't gotten everything out in the open. Was that racial thing? That rioting stuff? I don't know. I don't placate to hold on to it. But it is rather interesting that today we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planets retrograde, which to me represents that the doors are just not able to close yet. Nothing is going to become set yet. So there is a way to reassemble and reassert the energies into other places where you'd like them to go, instead of having to fight with them. Know which ones you want to eliminate, which ones you cherish to keep, be it material things or emotional, physical things. When these things are in retrograde, it just means you have more time or better energies to see what's really slowing you down, what's stopping you from feeling like you're going forward and becoming something more than what you feel you are here to be or do. Okay? It is up to each individual, no matter what. So yeah, don't be surprised by unusual or screwy messages or other things that are outside of you, because all life is a message. From the animals to the songs you listen to basically anything that comes through your noggin. I lost what I was saying. It just went bye-bye. Bye-bye thought. Bye-bye thought. We're here to teach and learn and ding our balls and ring our bells and hit the drum gently, gently, gently. Nothing has to be so bad that you gotta beat it or slam it or not give respect to it, especially yourself. So you've been finding yourself, you're beating yourself up over something because you're feeling that there's some kind of guilt that you're supposed to carry. Excuse me, but if you learn something from the situation, no harm, no foul, or just deal with the consequences because that's life. Don't hold on to it like you're going to flip and miss out on something if you hold on to it, because you're missing out because you're holding on to it. Let go. Let the stuff pass. Don't. I only have an example of how people consider death such a part that they have to hang on to. And they forget that life is here now. And this is what we're supposed to be witnessing and learning from, getting conscious about. That everything has its natural cycles, no matter how much we want to think we can or can't do about it, with it, because of it. And it's all a natural occurrence that we have to kind of like enjoy. So nothing else is going on. So, okay, Jupiter will be going into Scorpio in October. So be prepared for that. More remnants of repercussions of the ugly actions of others. Don't be vengeful. Don't think that things have to happen right now and it's adamant to hurt them. Adamant. No, because they'll have their own pain. And you don't want to have your little finger stuck in their pain because you're holding that kind of contentment or that kind of disillusion that has to count most than anything else. No. Cut the strings, cut the connections to the harm-filled contracts that you have created by your emotions, by your feelings of inadequacy, or of situations that you could have done something different. Well, sure you could have, couldn't we all? There's like 360 different ways of doing anything to a degree. Many degrees in astrology. But just to the idea of it is what you put out there is what you'll receive. So where's the respect, huh? Where's the unconditional love? Tolerance of differences, curiosity of differences, or other measures of how things work. Sitting back and vegging. So instead of asking, getting overrun by asking, sit back and relax so the messages come through and feed your heinies. I'll be right back. We got it coming around the mountain when it comes. We got it coming around the mountain when it comes. We've been playing all the bowls and the drums and the snowls, whatever a snow is. Welcome back to Adventures of a Feral Hippie. Oh, come on. Why are you doing this to me? I want to see the eclipse. It was so pretty. I really hope that they come out with the videos because it was one of the most, it had rainbows around it. I mean, on the one I was watching, rainbows. I'm like, that is so cool. And, yep, we're basically almost dark right now. It's gotten pretty quiet outside. Yep. Like, oh, I hope it rains. Can you give us some rain while you're at it so I don't have to water the garden, Mr. and Mrs. Eclipse? Let's see. Okay. I know I have this computer that doesn't want to work at its moments when I'm asking it to. Yes, I am. I'm asking it to, and it isn't listening. Just one of those times. Maybe it's time for silence. in this kind of day and age, how much can we do to actually put up with silence? We're so not used to it, but we are eclipsing at this moment. Yes, we are. So find that unconditional love inside and make sure that it's first for yourself than anything else. Once you can love yourself, then the love comes to you. Work for your inner package. It's now nighttime. It is just so nighttime right now. That is just so amazing. This is so cool. Yep. May we all get the future that we have hoped for and that we've worked through and we're doing because of internal being's mission, not the mission of outside energies whatsoever. It's the heartbeat. It's the idea of the unconditional love for the earth that holds all life together and the respect that helps everything grow. And until we find that within ourselves, it won't be possible for the rest of the world. So we really must dig deep, deep to ourselves, to the point of where the love just can't do anything but grow, and all things will naturally fall into the place they need to fall into. All right, it's already changed. And it is really quiet out there, too. And that there's no superstition involved. Why be in fear of something that is an occurrence that happens almost quite often, actually? Things do line up in progression and procession. And that's where you have your most best inner power, actually. Have the trust. Build the joy. Create the happiness for yourself. And then go forth and share. What a novel idea. What a time to be blessed. But not to be taken personally. No, if you have to do something personally, provide care and nurturing for something that is in need. But play it. Play it as a game. Enjoy the travels. Create new journeys. There's no real mistakes. There's no real inhibitions unless it's only in our minds. And so we can go forth and create a new beginning and a better tolerable existence with all the differences. Why not? How many people have taken the moment to just stop and do nothing? Even though we're still doing stuff like breathing and semi-thinking. Now, I kept my mind empty, except, yeah, Mona, don't forget you're on air. And because the rest of the world that's listening isn't going through this. And it is rather auspicious. And in 2027, the opposite one comes right up the Madrid fault line. It will be interesting to see that, which I know repercussions occur during eclipses. It's part of the system of the harmonics of change. And so what we do with whatever is occurring, have no fear, be aware, and of course beware, because you got to tread lightly a lot. For one thing, it makes you not have to work so hard, and you don't get as tired. But to have that inner being where you leave barely a footprint because of that unconditional love, because of the occurrences that you love, respect, and honor, and appreciate and bless life. Because that's really been what's been missing out of a lot of people's existences, is the love of life. We are so blessed. I really wish people could feel the blessings and know that each one is worthy and should account for them, for themselves. This is not a selfish agenda. It'll be selfish if you try to suck energies off other people in that because you're a hog, or what do you call them? One of those strange people who are out to hurt others, psychopaths, or something like that. But to love yourself, oh gosh, it changes so much of reality and the existence of all of our occurrences. Life is just full of occurrences. And then it depends on how you take that witnessing and if you make it into a situation or not, good or bad. See, just even hearing those words, you could be setting a sight in your mind that preconceives something, but doesn't mean it has to be at all. I wish everybody the power that they came to find. I want to start crying now, because we're all so worth it. And everybody else is deserving to have witness of the true being of who we mingle with. It's only fair. And it's only the righteousness that we all deserve. No matter what. No matter what. And it's not a materialistic kind of love either. It's not a fetish kind of behavior. It's not a me. It's learning to realize what your brain is up to. And if it incorporates the heart. Because those two things separated do not work well together. And that's part of the system of the human being. Starting from the ground chakra, which is usually a black chakra. People don't realize it, but yes, we are truly connected to this planet Earth. Look at your Tai Chi books and see how we are literally part of it. And when we connect to her, she helps us regulate and have our energy back. And then it goes to the creative chakra, the red chakra, the root chakra, which is usually always on and going one way or another because it's survival. It's the energy of existence. But the harmonic has been derived through other mechanisms that have put a lot of people just in that space. And they need to recognize, too, to move on. Move on to the Dantian, the orange chakra, that digests all that information that you've been feeling from the earth and trying to create and manifest. Thanks, Mower. We know where his love's at. Oh, anyway. That's what the orange chakra is for. Digesting it, man. Yeah, let's see what happens. And then it goes into the green with the heart after the yellow. Because they kind of intermingle. They kind of fade in and out. Our chakras are like rainbows, actually. Oh, it's really kind of cool. But of course, you have a center energy spot that's right there. So you go from orange into the yellow, which is your solar plex. And that's the heart of your spirit being, basically, in my opinion. Remember, this is all my opinion. And it's the creative spark that helps the rest of them get directed, the energies get directed where they need to go. And if you feel it in your heart, that green chakra, which is also the shoulders, responsibility kind of thing, but that doesn't mean that you can't be responsible. It just means that you're able to respond. And if you're not, then you work on it. But the heart is the main mind of the body for the direction of support of the whole rest of the system. So you have to kind of like utilize that in unconditional means and ways. And it is all part of the sharing. And then it goes to the blue, which is in the throat, like the turquoise. And that creates the welcoming of speech. A lot of people have been told to shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. No, speak up. Speak up. Speak up. Yeah. You are allotted that privilege. Of course, you don't want to go swearing and cussing anybody out, but if you know that there's a discretion, then you can speak up. And you're allowed to speak up for yourself, totally too. That is all part of this plan here, is to be able to be yourself. And that's where the violet, or it is the purple, then the violet, then the white. Okay. That's the consciousness of it. That's knowing that you have your inert powers that you can rely on well and above beyond anything that's external. Anything. Anything that's external. And then the violet is the true energy of the spirit from it, of the element of the rainbows. And then it goes to white, which is your true spirit connection from the oversoul to yourself. And if you want to connect more with your oversoul into the earth plane, not on it, in it, it's called, this is how I do it, heaven and earth, heaven and earth, heaven and earth, earth and heaven, in earth as in heaven, there you go. In earth as in heaven. And bring your cosmic power inside you. And enjoy the truths of the realities of life as existence. Seriously. That's where a lot of the channeling comes. But then people get out of their way and let somebody else get in there. No, I'm not about to do that ever. No, 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 no. I'll use my own malapropisms or whatever else you want to say my Yoda speak is. Because it's the me, myself, and I of the we. And that's okay by me. And if there is anybody else who just can't handle it, well, then, hey, later. Have a good one. Peace. Because it's not my idea to try to have anybody make sure that they like me or any of this other stuff like that. No, I'm not going to go out and try to appease anything. Well, maybe my plants. But I am not out to appease. Now, I do go above and beyond if somebody does ask for something, but usually it's if I have to think of that I'm going to appease them, no way. I never even did that for my children. They had to learn to make decisions and choices, not flipping that I'm going to be a pansy and give them what the heck they think they got to have because they want it, or anybody else of that nature. But if I have enough of it and I know you need it really, and I'm willing to share, no problem. But that's how it is that we go on this day of the 21st of August, 2017, as the sun is coming back into existence in my area. Woohoo! I guess the world didn't end quite yet now, did it? Why people would put so much superstition and fears out there is just so interesting. You know, hey. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. So where did I leave off at? Let me see. The shadow government is Pluto and the deep state is Pluto. Let's see, in precise astrology terms, why the shadow government will be morally wounded on August 21st. If you study the horoscope, okay, I guess I'll have to look at it. But you'll find the glimpse of Pluto in retrograde at 27 degrees Capricorn in the house of the 4th house. Oh, that's interesting, because it's going through the 5th house. So that would be the 12th house for this. That's rather interesting. It is said here that this is the 4th dimensional power source of the shadow government, and when the Great American Eclipse occurs at 28 degrees 53 minutes of Leo, a quintux will form to the natal Pluto of the USA. Quintux is an old Latin word, means 5/12. In astrology, a quintux is 150 degrees aspect between two positions. So what happens when a 99-year rare eclipse hits Pluto? Great evil is purged from the nation forever. Well, I'm all up for that. Boy, I'm all up for that. Big time. There's a rampant astrological speculation that this eclipse will somehow bring disaster to the presidency of Donald Trump. Amari and I find that these perspectives are laughable, considering that the eclipse will activate the President Trump's Pars fortune at 28 degrees Aquarius, in his 6th house. Well, gee, that's kind of interesting. The Par of Fortune reveals the nature and the things of one's fortune in life. This point is named after the mythic goddess of fortune, Fortuna, who spins her wheel of fortune above the lives of the mortals. So what's the prognosis? Well, that the eclipse energy will hone President Trump's mind to alter his path of service in the most fortunate ways. Cool. Especially with focus on community healing, social services, and causes that champion children, their health, and their welfare. Well, that would be nice. In astrology, the 12th house rules traitors and saboteurs who undermine and destroy while wearing a friendly mask. There is a special place in hell for those grotesque creatures who betray the very things that God expects them to uphold. When the eclipse happens, it will illuminate President Trump's 12th house. This is a great thing because his presidency has been undermined from within since day one by those who are yet loyal to the insidious agenda of the shadow government. Expect to see the saboteur flush within the Trump administration. There has been a vision of officials being arrested, cuffed, and paraded down flights of stairs. Yeah, but do they get the cuffs taken off at the end? Anyway, I know, I'm a skeptic. But I do think that it could happen. Why not? We all can be blessed by these things. Woohoo! Wouldn't that be great? Get out the compost shovels, man. Let's get rid of it. Turn it over. All right. Now, supposedly when Christ walked the earth, he carried the light of Regulus. In a mystical way, the Lion of Judah was crowned with Regulus. The light from this star bestows great authority, worldly power, royal skill, and honor, divine charisma, lasting health, fondness for children, passion for service, wise counsel, and a glowing heart. When President Trump was born, his star was on the horizon, so its energy expresses through his looks, manners, and deeds. What else will be the eclipse mean for the President Trump, who has given Christians new hope in geopolitics? Oh, jeez. He'll be receiving Christ-conscious blessings that will enhance his leadership ability. Well, that'd be cool, but couldn't he have had them beforehand, too? Who knows? Who knows?
Solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and FreedomSlips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, FreedomSlips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
survived. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, that's funny. Okay, well, okay, let's see. Come on, computer, let's just. Oh, I know, I had to do my 3 o'clock, right? Welcome to freedomslips.com, Revolution Radio. Oh, oh, oh. And Hacky Shack. Okay. Yes. We'll see if that works. Maybe chocolate. Maybe chocolate. And yes, grass-fed butter. Okay, there we go. Before Okay. Let's see. Do I have another one? Because we know about the rest of this, don't we? I mean, come on. We know about... I don't want to bring all this stupid... Okay, well, let's do the 11th house. I might do it. A soul stands still in the USA looking up to a rare eclipse with hope and wonder. Devil's hopes for a second American Civil War will be crushed. The eclipse will activate the 11th house of the USA national horoscope. It's extremely significant because the 11th house rules collective consciousness, social causes, citizen unification, humanitarianism, astronomy, and yes, astrology. The Eclipse Academy will support the creation of a more conscious, loving, peaceful, and united society here in the USA. Although the Scorpions will persist, know that the agitators, anarchists, and the dividers are working in vain against the higher cosmic powers. Without knowing the states of the other nations, at least not yet, I know that new sovereignty movements will be made manifesting all over the world as the eclipse energy empowers global citizens with a new self-determination ability that gives us much more power over the creation of our collective future. Sovereignty will prove to be one of the magic eclipse words, especially in the context of national politics and national debates. On a spiritual level, the energies will be highly supportive of personal sovereignty development, that we each have more rule over our lives and futures. But for spiritual sovereignty to be true, lives must be harmonized with the cosmos. Every degree in the zodiac serves as a path of human experience. We sojourn through life and time and space with the contents of the 12 celestial houses and the 360 zodiac degrees. Know with certainty that each of the 12 houses has a secret royal degree that preserve the royal life paths. When the eclipse peaks, it will be trine the planet Uranus to open royal life paths for all who are worthy of them. At this moment, when the sun is darkened, royal metaphysician gifts will be issued to all who are deserving them. If your heart is turned towards creation, be certain that your royal paths will be open. And when you experience the Leo magic, you will know it came from within and heaven. That should be within, because it's all a state of mind. Although Leos comprise about 1/12 of our global population, we have Leo somewhere in our lives. If the world is enthralled by the great American eclipse, be sure to have your horoscope in hand. Okay. Well, but the Aquarius means a lot too, because that's also the South Node. So that's the past life of these things. Are we going to repeat them? Or are we going to learn from them? Scientifically understand where and how this cosmic energy will be benefiting you over the next calendar year. The growth, grace, and glamour of this eclipse will be magnifying at least one of your 12 houses, and depending on the degrees of your birth placements, much, much more can be in store. In 2017, and cosmic consciousness is developing all over the world, just as Notre Dame is predicted. We do live in a matrix, and astrology is the source code. The synchronicity between terrestrial events, inner spiritual experiences, and cosmic activities will not be ignored, as the world will soon observe with shock and awe a dramatic cascade of events that correspond exactly with the sum of the eclipse astrology. But on the personal level, will we be receiving new spiritual light of an unmistakable Leo quality that will empower us to become matrix artisans instead of matrix captives. When you feel that golden light glowing within, know that it came from the gods and goddesses and earth and cosmos. I'm putting all that in there because I have no god. Not a big god anyway. And they use it to alter your reality divinely. That's right. We're all supposed to become master creators within ourselves. That's right. Get yourself together. Anyway, gems and crystals are conduits of celestial energy. They have ancient correspondences to the zodiac houses, planets, and stars. The legends about them are as old as the history, and royals have treasured them because of their divine effects. Golden beryl, sunstone, cuprite, kunzite, rhodochrosite. Gosh, I could say these things. It's got whatever ones make you feel good. Whoa! Keep it simple. They're just too many words. Oh, jeez. Accept the higher callings and pass a service that are presented to you. Never turn down an opportunity that you might witness as a problem. Deal with people from the heart, as the heart means all to life. Work to strengthen and purify your physical and spiritual heart as well. That's the unconditional love part, you guys. And be able to respond. Be responsible for who you are. Don't let somebody else do it for you. What a waste of effort and time and knowledge for you to do that kind of stuff. Prioritize the needs, joys, ambitions, and dreams of children of all ages, okay? Transition faithfully into the work that you love, and the cosmos will support you. That's right. Well, yeah. In its own way, never have expectations, because stuff works in its own mysterious ways. Contribute towards the elimination of child hunger, poverty, and pain. That's right. Get rid of the chemtrails and the other crap like that. Be compassionate towards those of a lesser consciousness. Now, I know that could be iffy, but I'm trying to, okay? And it's not always easy, but that's all right. It still can be done. It doesn't mean you have to take it with you. It just means that you have to be that way at that moment of that being that way. We're all playing a certain role in acting around here, so, you know. But that's just me talking. Okay. Release fears and knowledge that a time of powerful divine intervention has come. Yeah, as long as you allow it. Strive towards the idea of brotherly and sisterly relations with others. Be vigorous about healing work, as Regulus is a powerful star for healing. Do not fall prey to divide and conquer tactics. Instead, be wise to them. Be the peacemaker and the unifier that you may be blessed for it. Take decisive action to positively restructure the lives of children. Set up to be a community leader or teacher if the role suits you. Avoid toxic political arguments that destroy time and darken your soul. Speak with love, reason, and respect or suffer a dark return. Inspire creativity, will be strong. Apply it for wealth and honor. Be supportive of new laws that empower the rights of parents and children. Be wise and brave with radical new levels of consciousness. Invest in promising new creative projects that call to your heart and allow creative genius and gifts of beauty to shine through confidently. Be charitable and in grace towards the healing and beautification of the world. That's right. This eclipse will be long remembered because of its great impact in the earthly kingdom. All things royal will be touched, for better or for worse. There is one true king that reigns over all other earthly monarchs, the king being Christ, Jesus Christ, the Holy Son of that God that they make us want to believe. Although this name disturbs many, it is a name that we cherish and serve. The powers of Christ are intimately connected with Regulus, the star that the eclipse will soon align. Neat. So we can expect the Christ power to blanket the earth in a new, awesome, and unexpected ways beginning tomorrow, or that might be today. Okay. The royal light will give you might. A master sees with second sight. A master knows to build it right. A magi knows that spells that bite. Take a knee and rise the sire. Leo sets our hearts on fire. Faith is tested to the wire. Grace is matched to our desire. The gods will move on 21. They all serve the Holy Son. That's interesting. The war is sealed and the heavens won. We use magic, not a gun. Trust, my friend, my soul is tested. Countless demons I have busted. Now my house is royal crested. Sacred calling, I'm invested. I'm reaping for the ancient kings, the ones with magic in their rings. When I rhyme, my angel sings. Stars foretell the future things. Well, that's interesting. Very, very interesting. Alrighty, so let's see what else I can find. This was one where somebody wants to say that we're under a conscious, which is Christ, right? Consciousness, Christ means consciousness, at least in my world. Collective evolution. And people were looking for articles of some nature to coalesce with the eclipse, of course. I mean, hey. I think I'll check the NASA one while I'm here too, because it's right there in front of me. But there was some interesting solar eclipse. I mean, what do you want to call them? Crop circles, but they're not all crop circles. And it showed something of the eclipse on top of a cell tower near London Airport, which is really strange. But very interesting looking, these star things. I want to see if I put it in here already, because I already posted some earlier. No. I do want to go to that one, though, which is really just, well, if we know they're all getting taken away, then what they do today, will that make something happen that we don't know about? Where'd it go? That's not it. That's it. Okay. Yeah, this NASA feed is not worth even really watching. I don't even see any stars out there. So that's rather interesting. And of course, it's supposed to be live, so I guess it has to focus on the biggest object, which is the planet. Goodness. It's got a beautiful blue aura around it. I wish we didn't start effing it up, man. Whew. Seriously. Okay. They do. These look just like cell towers almost. Days before an eclipse of a lifetime and the world readies for the sight and some of the energetic shifts, a new crop circle has appeared in a field at Sutton Hall near London Southern End Airport. The circle was discovered on August 17th, but its meaning, if any, is not fully yet understood. A crop circle with meaning, you might ask? Yes. Evidence has shown time and time again that these many circles have incredible scientific anomalies, and thus people believe the formations come from somewhere or something else. On the scientific side, the electromagnetic field over the area where a circle appears is usually electrostatically charged. There's also a rare form of electromagnetically charged called ionized plasma vortex, also known as ball lightning, involved in these formations. Let's have a closer look at this image for a moment. Y'all can see, right? In this particular formation, it appears that overall appearances resemble a radio broadcast tower with a satellite dish near the top. And in this case, the satellite dish resembles the usual symbols for a solar eclipse. Interesting considering we all have the Great American Eclipse today. So what might that mean? Could we be receiving some sort of radio messages from somewhere or someone at that time? Might it be simply mean that new frequencies are coming to our planet? Yeah, that makes sense. As a result of the eclipse? Anything's probable. As we explore deeply into our latest documentary, The Collective Evolutionary 3, The Shift, celestial bodies, including the sun, have a great impact on our physical bodies, minds, and consciousness, and the earth. This eclipse will be no different, and our in-house astrologer, Carmen Del Lucio, has outlined how this eclipse may affect you. Well, I might have to go to that article. I will see what else is here first, okay? Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see. There's many symbols that seem to be arranged in 3 separate columns of 7 boxes each. They don't know what the symbols mean yet. But the lower base is the radio broadcast tower, points towards London South End Airport in the distance. Okay, I see it. Yeah, okay. Well, now that means it would be stepping there. And in the end, do we know what this crop circle means? Not yet, but there's certainly some interesting aspects to its timing. With the eclipse coming up, it may simply serve as a reminder to take some time to be present during the eclipse. Watch out for the radio towers. Set some intentions related to what our in-house astrologer suggests. What is your heart telling you to create at this time? What steps can you take in fulfilling your passions? What possibilities out there currently excite you and perhaps make you feel more free? What is getting in the way of your expressing your heart more? In what area of your life do you need to be the king, queen, or superstar? How can you express yourself in ways that are more innovative, authentic, and reflective of who you truly are? All right. Let's see. But I've always liked crop circles. I've always liked crop circles. Okay, where are you? There you go. The latest article about the eclipse. Yeah, that is rather interesting how that looks like that. Yes, it does. Okay. All right. There we go. Woohoo! Well, the sun's not fully shining back yet, but I can at least now see the trees. It got that dark. Okay. Time to shine in new ways. Solar eclipse. Let's see. It's dubbed the Great American Eclipse. It'll be visible throughout North America, Central America, and the northern part of South America, as well as Western Europe and the west coast of Africa. However, it will be visible only as a partial eclipse unless you're on the pathway of totality, in which through parts of Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia, and most of South Carolina. You're located on the path of totality. You may be able to see Jupiter, Mercury, and Mars, and Venus. See, I thought so too. In the sky as the sun is completely covered. No, we're pretty overcast. There's no way to... Would have. This will be a great sight to see, and the conditions are also right. It's also very important to keep in mind, no matter where you are viewing the eclipse, be sure to be wearing certified viewing glasses. That's right. It's a supercharged moon which occurs every 6 months. Okay, solar eclipses are like a supercharged new moon which occurs every 6 months. They happen back to back with a lunar eclipse, then a supercharged full moon. Eclipse periods coincide with the endings and beginnings in some cases and can feel like starting a whole new chapter depending on how they influence your natal astrology chart. They can be a bit of a wild card. The energies are the strongest within a month of the occurring, when it relates events or circumstances may transpire. However, the effects of the eclipse can still manifest over the following 6 months, gradually leading up to it. This was written yesterday, the 20th. In the lead up to this, we've had a lunar eclipse in Aquarius. Its energy signified changes around our friendships, associates, colleagues, groups, teams, and some sort of collective. It could even have to do with how we express ourselves in these dynamics, and also potentially lead to new growth in relationships and partnerships. As Mercury is retrograde in Virgo, on the 12th and 13th, which will last until September 5th and 6th, it will be in late Leo. Mercury retrograde is a time of adjustments, insights, revisitation, and reorientation. And the fact is that one is coinciding with an eclipse season really emphasizes significant changes occurring between late July and late September, especially in the 2 to 3 weeks following the solar eclipse. Also previously, let's see the geographical perspective of what's going on. I already read that about solar Trump. Okay, it's in the north node in Leo. Okay, it always occurs when there's a new moon near one of the 2 lunar nodes, which in this case is the north node, and the nodes are where the pathway of the moon's orbit crosses the ecliptic, where the pathway of the sun from our geocentric perspective. The closer a new moon is to a node, the more totality coverage the moon will have in blocking the sun, making it a more astrologically significant as the changes are concerned. The other lunar node, such as the south node, is always on the opposite side and sign as its counterpart. The nodes are an important thing to look at when considering eclipses. The North Node in Leo is about the future and where our evolutionary potential is at this time. The South Node in Aquarius is about the past and what potentially could be holding us back if expressed in a way that is inhibiting what the North Node is calling for. As they entered the Leo-Aquarius axis on May 9th and will stay there until November 6, 2018, extending those themes until then. Yeah, like making childhood again. get rid of these school systems that are hurting the babies' brains, and then it's going to take generations to fix that mess. Nobody's been paying attention. We've only followed the lead. Going down. And that's the saddest part for our babies, is we weren't paying attention. Anyway, that's just sad. I can have big concerns for my great-grandson, tell you what. The last lunar eclipse had a few weeks prior triggered and initiated an Aquarian South Node side of this process. However, considering that this one Leo North Node solar eclipse in totality, and the previous one was a partial lunar eclipse, the new beginnings surrounding the Leo energy are much stronger, and potential endings signified by the Aquarian side of the polarity. It's probable that some of the developments and changes indicated by the previous eclipse could be directly connected with some of the new beginnings indicated by this solar eclipse. Well, that's cool. Leo is ruled by the sun and it is the sign of the creator, the performer, the leader, and the superstar. It's about love and heart-centered self-expression, whether that's in our creative efforts, joyful activities, or in relationships. Leo is passionate, inspired, and inspiring, which is what earns Leo natives the spotlight that they crave. Leo is also associated with children and has childlike and playful qualities. Expressed negatively, though, Leo can be a demanding of attention, egotistical, arrogant SOBs, and get too caught up in the drama. The energy of the sign can be expressed in different ways in areas of your life depending on how it is interacting with your natal astrology chart and the types of things that you do. For example, the Leo performer theme may be expressed in the arts or in sports, or perhaps you are taking on leadership roles in your workplace, maybe children coming into your life somehow, or maybe you're doing something new regarding a hobby. These are just some of the examples of how this can play out, but many more potentials of its expression can exist related to the above-mentioned themes. That's right. It's all up to us. And all this Leo playing, you better go to the dollar store and get yourself some craft supplies. Yes, some craft supplies. Spend $5. Coloring books and crayons. Anyway. The solar eclipse is aligned with Regulus, which is the brightest star that is closest to the sun's pathway ecliptic. It is the heart of the lion of the Leo constellation, which emphasizes some of the themes mentioned above. Traditionally, it's been referred to as the Star of Kings, a part of which that highlights the superstar potentials of the Leo energy and could also suggest a theme of being the king or queen of our world. A negative expression of Regulus can be seeking revenge and going to war. Ugh. Uranus' very tight, harmonious trine with Regulus, aligned solar eclipse. Uranus can bring excitement, innovation, revolution, authenticity, freedom, and the sparks of intuition and inspiration that could lead to revolutionary developments in our lives. It's like to challenge a status quo, take a more progressive approach, and it could also be rebellious, but emphasize the new beginnings and have fun. Be right back.
A narco-syndicalist commune. We take it in turns to act as a sort of executive officer for the week. Yes. But all the decisions of that officer have to be ratified at a special bi-weekly meeting. Yes, I see. By a civil majority in the case of purely internal affairs. Be quiet. But by a 2/3 majority in the case of more... Be quiet. I order you to be quiet. Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left. Yes, I have. Look! It's just a flesh wound.
I don't believe I've seen such a display of courage, skill, nerve, grace, and stupidity.
I'll do you for that. Oh, what? Come here. What are you going to do, bleed on me? I'm invincible! You're a loony. The Black Knight always triumphs!
Roundtable Live, Monday through Friday, 1 a.m. till 4 a.m. Eastern Time. Bring your mind, bring your ideas, bring your voice. King Arthur had nothing on us here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com.
It's rather interesting trying to figure out different vibrations that we allowed to influence us, because that's all that's going on when stuff happens. What are we allowing to influence us? Oh my gosh. Oh, don't ever know. Not unless you look and you don't have fear about what the heck is going on. But then that's just my opinion, hey. Yep. Now the eclipse also is separating from a quintuple aspect with Cryon, which will be finishing a square with Saturn. Whew. Coming this fall. Thank you. Although this eclipse can make us more bold and potentially have a liberating effect, there may be challenges and required adjustments when trying to incorporate the Leo energy while addressing the blocks, the wounds, and the emotional patterns that we've just let keep going on. This theme could also come up from mid-October until mid-November. At times we could go beyond some of these challenges. We apply discipline. That's right. And printed information if you have to. But only put your energies out because you know they'll bring benefits and rewards, not deficits and disappointments. Mars is also in Leo, not too far from where this eclipse is occurring. Whoa. However, it's much closer to the North Node, making a key planet to look at in consideration of the future. Mars is the planet of assertiveness, action, and desires. It's in Leo, it likes to do things in a grand way with lots of passion. This is about applying your drive and being active towards all the Leo things mentioned above in consideration of the future in your evolution. Yeah, you get an inkling to do something, then do it. Saturn and Jupiter with both have opposing qualities, are making a harmonious sextile with each other, and with Mars involved as well. That would be a turn. His energy is strong during the first 2 weeks following this eclipse, especially after the 25th, when Saturn finishes its retrograde. Woohoo! That's right, it goes direct. Woohoo! But we're going to revamp everything that we've been going through, so don't think it's all over yet. Saturn is about commitment, structure, discipline, work, responsibilities, caution, and being realistic. Jupiter is about expansion, the big picture, growth, freedom, learning, teaching, morals, beliefs, travel, or anything to do with broadening your horizons. These two planets in a sextile with each other shows that these two energies are working in a compatible way and helps to promote balance between them. Woohoo! For example, perhaps there's a theme of committing to solidifying, or building towards something that can be expansive for you. It could also mean being able to move easily, exercise caution while applying yourself and growth towards your goals. For some, it may be about moving forward with a realistic perspective, or perhaps better defined beliefs, morals, or ideologies. That's right. Compassion, comprehension, not sympathy, empathy. But then you also have to learn to put up the barriers, because there's a lot of hurting people out there. You don't want to drag that all around with you, because it'll create part of that for you. But that's why Cryons are too. It's going to get it's the wounded healer. Okay. It's also good for commitments and relationships and partnerships, considering Jupiter's in Libra. That's right. However, considering all this Uranus energy at this time, partnerships and relationships will work best when there is something Uranian about it, which is unusual. And it could be exciting, electric, innovative technology, or some other thing that provides a sense of freedom. Things to consider, like setting intentions, man. Last time an eclipse happened at this location of the zodiac was in August of 1998. And in 1999, we also had an eclipse belonging to the same Sorrow series as this one. Depending on your age, it can be good to look at what happened in your life during those years, especially the second half of 1998. Well, I had a daughter at that time. Some of the same themes that occurred were now manifest now, but in different ways, as the overall astrology now is not the same as it was then. That's right. And I actually restarted my herb business at that time. Many of the things related to this eclipse will be strongly activated during the first week or so of September. This is when Mercury ends its retrograde, September 5th. And all the stations forward at the same spot where the eclipse is occurring. While all is in trine with Uranus. Cool. It'll be an easier flow. At the same time, there can be new developments and potential surprises that will help us in how we can proceed forward for our new beginnings. What your heart is telling you to create at the time. What is your heart telling you to create at this time? What steps can you take to help you in fulfilling these passions? What possibilities are out there currently that excite you and perhaps make you feel more free and alive? What is getting in the way of you expressing your heart more? In what area of your life do you need to be the king, queen, or superstar? Okay. Boy, is that a repeat? How can you express yourself in ways that are more innovative, authentic, and reflective of who you are? These are some examples to reflect on. Okay, should I? Let's see. For the coming weeks. Do your new moon intentions for this eclipse and make them within the following 24 hours so to close the new moon eclipse as possible. Okay. Well, that's really cool. I will agree to that. Yes, I will. Recalibrating for new beginnings. Yep. That is Mercury retrograde. That's right. And what is it? I mean, are parents really seeing what their children are being taught? I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we could really find out now if we step out of our box of thinking that the ones who are telling us what we need to do by spending how much money for school supplies and stuff like that, when our taxes should be going first to the schools. Yeah, that should be high priority if we were a society of citizens, or not, maybe not citizens, of humans. Instead, no. They're trained rats. A lot of people get really concerned about the Mercury retrograde thing, and I've never really personally had a problem with Mercury retrograde. Maybe because to me it's like an organizing time, and it's just, cleaning out the stuff that's in the way and making room for other stuff, and be impeccable in your communications. And if stuff doesn't work out, then there's a reason why it didn't work out. Not to take it personally, because stuff happens. Life happens. Mercury has begun its latest edition of its retrograde process. It started on the 12th and will last until September 5th. In weeks and especially days leading up to it, we started to notice its effects as the slowdown comes to a stop before moving the other way. Well, maybe communication. Yeah. I know NASA, one of them, used Mercury for their communication, so you can't say that this planet doesn't really represent that. The Mercury was a god. Don't make it a god now. Don't have it. Anyway, It's famous for its disrupted, delaying, and problematic effects it often has on communications, technology, transactions, motor vehicles, anything with moving parts, and commuting in general. We could experience some challenges, misunderstanding, and errors around our communications, numbers, details, and much more. Well, just watch what you're doing. And more changes and cancellations. We may also feel more challenged as we are doing analytical work without using internal guidance. Well, that makes sense. Although there's a higher probability of experiencing more of these problems during this time, they won't necessarily apply to every situation. Some people may not notice these energies as much, depending on what types of things they are doing and how they're interacting with their personal astrological blueprint. That's right. Mercury retrograde can also be a good time to revisit or redo tasks, projects, or ideas, or anything else that was initiated in the past. You may also reconnect with old friends or families, or others you haven't seen in a while. Well, wouldn't that be a good thing? Okay, let's see. Yeah, if that works out. Boy, this coffee was good. Or there. Okay. Ultimately, Mercury retrograde is a time. Oh, I already read that, didn't I? Oh, maybe not. Okay. Recalibrate our minds in certain areas of our lives. It is a period in which we receive important insights and see things in a new light. During the following retrograde, certain areas of our lives can go through changes or shifts, or we can experience a reorientation of sort. In a post-retrograde period, we move forward with some new awareness and adjustment. Some people can even experience more significant transformation depending on their natal astrology chart based on the exact birth time. The things that you've been doing or putting into place in the 2 to 3 weeks leading up to that period could determine how and where these energies play out. It's also possible that there could have been changes put in place in which may go through a sorting out process during the time. Perhaps that period there could have been unknown variables, both positive and negative, that were either unseen or hadn't been conceived yet, which may become apparent over the coming weeks. So, the signs and elements in which Mercury retrograde travels shows the energy in which we are reorienting ourselves with. However, how it is interacting with your natal astrology chart is also a factor. Like everything else with astrology, it usually occurs in one sign element, but in the case of this and the previous one, in April, it's traveling in 2 sign elements, Earth, Virgo, and Fire, Leo. Mercury retrogrades occur in the same element for roughly 1.5 years, as they occur every 3 to 4 months in different signs of that element. In this edition, we're finishing the Earth series with Virgo, which started in January of 2016, and transiting into Fire series, lasting until November 2019. Throughout much of the Earth series last year, we also had Jupiter, the North Node, and solar eclipse all in Virgo, as well as the last summer's Mercury retrograde also on that sign. All of this really emphasizes the Virgian focus then on the smaller scale throughout this year as the North Node traveled there until May. Now it's coming up again with the Mercury retrograde, helping us to reorient or newly integrate these qualities. The earth element is particularly about being grounded and keeping it real in its structural, foundational, dependable, physical, resourceful, and productive. As that mutable earth sign ruled by Mercury, Virgo is about versatility and adaptability. It's translated into being able to tackle life's challenges and running your day-to-day life more efficiently in this regard. Virgo can represent skills and tools as well as health, fitness, nutrition, cleanliness, purity, and organization. Virgo energy can also be overly critical and meticulous. The fire element is about inspiration, passion, and spontaneity in its intuitive, instinctive, and energetic way. A fixed fire sign ruled by the sun. Leo is about radiating love, creativity, heart-centered self-expression, and influence. It's the performer, the leader and the creator, and seeks to find joy in expressing itself in those ways. It's about vitality and also rules children, fun, and romance. It can be courageous and generous. Express negativity. Leo can also be egotistical, dramatic, demanding of attention or respect. This sign, at its highest expression, is about shining in our own authentic way and inspiring others. As we are in the eclipse season with Uranus in the mix, 5 days prior to the Mercury going retrograde, we had a lunar eclipse in Aquarius, with a solar eclipse occurring during Leo retrograde on August 21st. Eclipse periods are at the times of changes, like Mercury retrograde. However, they can mark a more significant ending and beginning, while Mercury retrograde is usually about adjustment and revisitation. The upcoming solar eclipse in Leo is directly connected to this Mercury retrograde, not only because it will be happening at the same time in the same sign, but also because it will be at the same point in the zodiac as Mercury will be when it ends its retrograde. This demonstrates a strong push towards how we integrate the Leo energy within us and marks a new beginning in that way as well. Boy, do you ever think it? The eclipse is in trine with Uranus, just as Mercury will be in early September. Uranus assists the Leo energies with excitement, freedom, and unique and innovative ways of self-expression. It helps us to really step into our authentic self. Uranus also rules technology, science, astrology, metaphysics, and anything unconventional or forward-thinking. Mars in Virgo is also loosely involved with this aspect, which helps us to get things done post-retrograde. If you wish to ensure, significant dates, for Mercury retrograde. Everybody got your pen and paper? Well, the first one is today and tomorrow, the solar eclipse in Leo. Changes that can lead to new beginnings in how we express ourselves can happen during this time. However, it is possible that you may notice these energies exactly on this day. This is something that could have started to play out already or will play out in the immediate future and in the incoming months. Okay. Saturn goes stationary direct on August 25th, 26th. Saturn has been retrograde since early April and is concluding now during this powerful time of change and adjustments. It could be a time when we begin a better understanding of how to proceed towards our responsibilities and commitments. Perhaps in relation to career, education, or broadening our horizons in some way. This energy will continue to unfold over the coming weeks following the 25th and 26th as Saturn picks up speed and Mercury ends its retrograde. I hope everybody's taking notes. On the 26th and 27th, Mercury will conjunct the Sun. So you might see some evidence of what kind of effort you put in today's meditation or prayers. This marks the halfway point of Mercury retrograde and can be one of the most insightful periods and powerful times of realizations. It is possible that you may experience something reflective of the potential new beginnings signified by the solar eclipse. Some people will experience a more Mercury retrograde complication during this time. August 26th and 27th. The next Mercury transit will be September 1st through 3rd. Mercury conjunct Mars trine Uranus We may take action or consider doing something original or that brings us a feeling of excitement or freedom. We may feel a boost of inspiration or creativity and be bold and courageous in our actions. Our mind and communication can be very active at this time. There may be positive surprises as well. The themes of this previous solar eclipse, including the next 6 months, may also be strong at this time, as Mercury and Mars are joining at the same spot. September 5th and 6th. Mercury goes direct, full moon in Pisces. Whoa, that illusion be going on. Mercury finishes its retrograde this time while locked in a trine with Uranus, following 2 to 3 days and still close to Mars. Everything mentioned on the 1st to the 3rd still applies during this time, except now there may be more clarity. Things will start to move forward and fall into place as we proceed with more clarity now in the coming weeks. That's right, it's always 2 on and 2 off every moon cycle. Well, it used to be that way anyway. There will also be a full moon happening at this time as well. Yeah, ones of those each every month. Which could be reflecting as making further changes or perhaps releasing something as a result of new development and awareness. It can also help to facilitate more realizations and stimulate the already existing creative energy of this period. Although this is a time of moving forward with greater clarity, this full moon aligned with Neptune in Pisces, and for some people could also add some confusion around the different issues. Now that's September 5th and 6th. Likely to last around the period of the full moon to help you forward moving time. That's right. So that's kind of cool. Happy Moon Day. Yes, it is. Happy Moon Day. There you go. There you go. Somebody's dinging. All right, so I do hope that everybody has some idea of where they'd like to make their future and what they can avoid by not paying attention or avoid by paying attention. Beware, be aware, basically, is what needs to be going on or happening or to ever which way it goes. I mean, it is all up to each one of us. There's no other ones that count but us. Okay. Yeah. Things are happening. Well, I have a couple minutes, so I will bring up this subject. I didn't really want to, but I'm going to do it. Did you know that on this auspicious day that science didn't take a break? No, NASA decided to send up balloons filled with bacteria to see what happens during the eclipse. Like, what the hey? Like, what the hey? Oh my gosh. Why are they just so adamant to flip and do something against life? Because they don't. I mean, NASA and Montana State University are ready to send loads of bacteria into the stratosphere. Isn't that sweet of them? But don't worry, it's all for science. Yeah, right. Teams across the U.S. will release 100 balloons during the August 21st. They will float around 85,000 feet in the air, and each balloon will have cameras for videos and photos as well as a tracker. Some of these balloons will also carry samples of a highly resistant bacteria. NASA scientists want to see how it reacts to Mars-like conditions. What do you mean? This is Earth. How can it react to a Mars-like condition? What the Sam heck is that stuff? Well, the upper part of the Earth's stratosphere has conditions very similar to Mars' atmosphere at the surface. Their air thin, and their air is thin. Well, like ours is getting any better. And the environment is cold and full of radiation. Well, this planet's on its way to that too. So during the eclipse, Earth's atmospheric conditions will become even more like Mars. The experiment aims to test the limits of living things on Earth. No duh! What? Eventually, the balloons will pop and the devices will send the data and bacteria down to the ground. NASA will compare the stratosphere bacteria with samples left on Earth to see what changed. Research says they hope to learn a lot. Well, I'm sure they can learn that we just aren't paying attention, are we? I mean, seriously. What the heck is this crap? Oh yeah, we're just gonna send that bacteria up there. What the hey? Why would it matter? It's all life is an experiment, man. This is a science project. But why? Yeah. What does this? Why are you doing this? Who's involved? How many balloons? And there was like 6 in this area. What science is becoming? How big are the balloons? What happens to the cameras and other equipment? I'm sure they'll get it all together. Let's see. Just more just to stop us from learning who we are, folks. You know, just find that inner power because we can break this spell. All we have to do is everybody find their inner power. Get that unconditional love and life going again instead of following the protocol of death and destruction. Oh my gosh. It's just like, I want my Garden of Eden back, man. I really, really do. In fact, we need it. That's what I pray for. I mean, seriously. Oh no. Oh, blessed be to the power of all of us who give a flying leap. Peace. Later.
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio.
Looking for a nightcap to fill your listening needs? Come join us on Spaced Out Radio with me, Dave Scott, right here on Revolution Radio. Monday through Friday for 3 hours a night, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, we will take you down the supernatural path. From ET contact to the paranormal and all of the spiritual, cryptid, and conspiracy stories in between. You can find us right here on Revolution Radio, at spacedoutradio.com, on Twitter at spacedoutradio, and on Facebook at Spaced Out Radio Show. Spaced Out Radio. It's a night of talk and interaction. Are you experienced?